Hi, good evening and good morning, everybody. My name is Faiza Alam. I'm a NetSuite functional consultant at BISP Solutions, and I welcome you all on the webinar series 2 for the inventory management overview that is organized at BISP Solutions. So, as it is our day two of the series, so yesterday we have started this webinar, this session on inventory management, in which we have learned about the basic inventory management. Like we got to know about the introduction of inventory management. Then we also know about its objectives and goals and what are the techniques that are used for managing inventory. Then we also know how the NetSuite inventory management feature works. It has been divided into two parts, basic and the advanced inventory management. And how can we, get these features available or enable into our NetSuite application? We have also learned about that. And how can we set up inventory in terms of location? So these were the topics that we have covered yesterday. And in today's session, we will learn another feature of inventory management module, that is item record creation, item pricing. Let me tell you. So our today's agenda would be these topics. First, we will know about the item master record. Like there are various kinds of items that have been created, and these are all based on the requirement of the business. So we'll be knowing about that. After this, we will know how the prices can be set, or how the prices can be scheduled on items. Then we'll be knowing about the mass update. How can we, update the prices in our NetSuite application in one go, or this is a kind of, this is known by the name of mass update. Then our next concern would be conversion of non-inventory items to inventory items. Like how can we convert the non-inventory items into the inventory ones? And at last, we'll know about what are the inventory level warning preferences, and how can we set it in our NetSuite application. So these are our today's agenda. So if we talk about the NetSuite item type, so inventory management is one of the most important tasks for running any business efficiently. And in order to track inventory, we have to set up inventory item first. Like if we do not have items, so for which kind of records do we have to maintain the inventory? So in order to maintain inventory, so we have certain items with us, and these items have been divided into the following categories. So before that, which we should know what are items. So items are the goods and services we sell to our customer, and along with that, it also includes so the parts and the raw materials we purchase from the vendors. If we talk about the NetSuite inventory item record, so it let us track the quantities and value of inventory. So again, under the NetSuite application, items have been divided into two broad categories, that are inventory items and non-inventory items. So if I talk about the inventory items, so again, inventory items has their subdivision, that has lot numbered items, serial numbered items, matrix items, dropship items, and special order items. So first, let me tell you about the inventory and non-inventory items. So inventory items are the physical goods that we buy and sell and record it into our inventory. Means a recording of it, a proper recording and accounting of these items that are made are comes under the inventory item. So non-inventory items are also the physical goods that we purchase or sell for our business. But the basic difference between these two items are inventory items gets recorded. I mean, we go through an accounting of inventory items. We create records for it, and non-inventory items are not recorded into our inventory. This is the basic difference of these two things. Rather, both of them are the physical goods that we goods that are bought for earning profit into the business, but the basic difference is non-inventory items are not recorded into the inventory. So if we talk about the lot numbered items, so lot numbered items record track the quantity of items by assigning a specific number to by assigning a specific a specific serial number to the goods. If we talk about the lot numbered items, so here a proper specific number is provided to the group or quantity of items, so that it will be easily identified while using it onto the orders. This is about the lot numbered items. So if we talk about the other category, that is serial numbered items. So serialized inventory is a way to track the purchase and sale of physical inventory items by assigning a serial number to it. I mean here a separate or an individual item is given a serial number. It lets us choose a specific serial number, so that when the items are used for fulfillment, or or whether the organization is receiving the orders, so these numbers will be helpful. So this is about the serial numbered items. Matrix items are like when we have the options of like various other combinations, like here we can say that when we have the option of size and color, we can take the example of garments and shoes here. So when we get the combination of these two things, or apart from these two, we and when we have the combination of various other options with us, so that comes under the matrix item. So matrix item lets us track the item by options such as size and color. An item matrix consists of a parent item and sub item. I mean, there can be certain components under the matrix item that are made of a parent item. So under the matrix item, there can be a parent item and it has its sub item also. Dropship items, if we talk about the dropship items, so under the dropship items, here we can take an example. If we get an order from our customer, and we, after checking into our inventory, we get to know that the items are not available into our inventory. So in that case, we order this from our certain vendors, and that vendor will be making the supply of goods to the customer directly. I mean, under the dropship items, the quantity or the goods does not reach to our warehouse. It does not record it into our inventory. Rather, the order is being shipped from the vendor to the customer directly. We only play the role of a mediator, as we take an order from our customer, and we put it to our vendors, and then the vendor is ready to supply these goods to our customer directly. The next type of items, that is special order items. So these items are created for only fulfilling the specific needs, or for certain or very rare in very rare cases, such kind of items are created. So these, it, as its name suggests, that special order items. So for any specific reasons, or for any rare cases, the items that have been created are called the special order items. So this is about the inventory item. This is the categorization of inventory items. Along with that, non-inventory items again have their subdivision into non-inventory item for sale, non-inventory item for purchase, and non-inventory item for resale. So again, the non-inventory items has their subcategories as well. Apart from inventory and non-inventory item, we have other options such as item groups, kit package, and assembly items. So these are all the clustering or the grouping item records that are used to assemble or package several items into one units. Like if I talk about the kit package, so here various components are gathered, and they are put into a group, or a kit, I would say, and that falls under the category of kit package. These item groups, kit package, assembly items are the comes under the grouping item category, but there are slight differences between these three. And if we talk about the assembly items, so assembly items are the items that are used in the manufacturing process. So if I talk about the kit package, so here we can example, like if I take the example of cake. So like for preparing cake, we are required a flour, milk, sugar, and after combining all these components, we have an output that is called cake. So kit package is like, when we gather the components of different types and we gather it and putting it together, so that comes under the item groups. So these three are the grouping items, but there is a slight difference between it. So these are the item types that are used in the NetSuite. And to conclude that, I would say that a correct and a proper item setup helps a business in removing the various barriers that come in our procurement to payment, that is P2P cycle and O2C process. Along with that, if the correct accounting setup also helps, if the items are properly set based on their, requirements. So it also helps in the correct accounting, and it will help in taking the appropriate decisions that are related to the inventory. So we are done with the item master types. Now we'll moving on to the NetSuite application and see how can we create an item record, and further how can we add pricing to it. What are the various costing methods that are used into it. So for creating an item record, we have to go into list, forward to accounting, and here we have the option of items and new. So here you can see that I have just told you now that these are the various types of items. Inventory item has lot numbered and serialized number items. Further, we have the option of matrix item, and non-inventory item also have their subcategory, that is for purchase, for resale, and for sale. And along with that, we also have certain service items also. These are not the physical goods, but they are there under the items category. Along with that, we have gift certificate and discount items also. Here we have the grouping items that are, kit package and all. So for today's demo purpose, I will be creating a simple inventory item. So this is the inventory item page form that we have to fill. The first thing, we will be changing its form from custom to standard. Here we have to mention the name of it. This is the item name and number. And if you want to display the same name and code on, so we can put it over here. This UPC code is like, here we have to provide a universal product code if we want to, so that while it helps in the identification if we want to, so we can provide a UPC, that is universal product code over here. Vendor name, if we want to associate this item to any vendor, so we can provide the names. Here we have to provide the unit of measure. So under the primary unit type, we have these options that have been created. These are the units of measures that have been created. So since here I am taking the iPad, so I will be selecting a primary unit type as each. So you can see the other fields have already been populated, followed by this field. So product name, I have already selected it. If this item is a sub item of any category, like, here we have the drop down option. So these are the various options. So if we want to make this item a child item or a sub item of any of these categories, so we can make it. So here I am taking this Apple iPad under the sub item since it is an iPad. Under the classification subtab, here we have to select the subsidiary, like for which subsidiary we want to associate this item. So here I am taking Mexico. If we want to select department location, so we can select class, so we can select it as per our requirement. I will be selecting as it include children. If we go down here under the purchasing and inventory, so a proper workflow is followed under it. Like under the inventory, we have purchasing, then receiving, manufacturing, then selling, fulfilling, replenishing. So all these features are available with us here. So if we if we come here under the item cost detail, so here you can see the costing method that are used into the NetSuite. Is these are the costing methods that are used. And costing method, if we talk about the costing method, so it is done by the accountant so that the cost of goods available for sale is represented on our income statement and balance sheet. So here the costing methods that are used are FIFO, LIFO, that is first in, first out, last in, first out, standard and average. And by default, the average costing method is selected. So the average costing method assumes to sell the goods, means to sell to sell all the goods at a time when the transaction take place. Along with that, it also uses the that average cost to determine the value of cost of goods sold and the value of ending inventory. So let me tell you about the other costing methods also, that is FIFO. So this method is concerned with selling the oldest goods that are purchased first. So here, if we talk about the most frequently used costing method, so that is FIFO. Why this is used by most of the companies? Just because it is the most logical choice. The company uses their oldest inventory first in its production process. That is why this FIFO follows that the items that are purchased first should be sold out first. So most of the organizations are following the FIFO method. If we talk about the LIFO, that is last in, first out. So this method states that the newly purchased product should be sold out first. So, the product that are purchased at last should be sold out at first. So this LIFO states like this. So these are the four methods that are available under the drop down of which average costing method is used. Or what happens if the inventory levels are negative? So NetSuite uses the last purchase price as the inventory costing method. So usually I do not have to select it, is already selected by default, the average costing method. So here, if we talk about the total value, so we do not have to mention any value for it. Rather, NetSuite generates this amount by multiplying the purchase price and quantity on hand that is available. And whenever any transaction for any sale and purchase takes place, NetSuite automatically calculates the total value. Like whenever any selling or purchasing of this iPad underscore 10 takes place, so the value will be calculated by the NetSuite automatically. Here we have to provide a purchase price if you want to provide any purchase price for it. So here I am providing a value for it. This is the purchase price. Here we have options like if you want to associate this item for any drop shipment or any special order, so we can check these boxes if we want to, or if we do not want it, so we can leave it as it. This is about the bins. Okay, if we go here into the accounting subtab, so here the accounts that will be affected with this item. The first is the cost of goods sold account. We have to, you can see that some accounts are already selected by default. So whenever any transaction takes place with this item, so these accounts will get affected. That is cost of goods sold account. Then asset account, inventory comes under the current asset. So the asset account has already been selected. Income account will also be affected with this item. And also where there are various other gains and loss accounts that will be affected. Uh, so it is already selected. We do not have to manually select it. So we are done with the item record creation. Now I will be telling you, I have also told you about the costing also. The other thing that we have, as we are on the item record subpage, is item pricing. So for that we have to go into the sales and pricing here. So let me tell you a small introduction of it. Like if we talk about the NetSuite, so here we can set up different price levels for each items. Let's take an example here. Like if we want to sell an item at wholesale and sometimes at retail, so we can create a sales price level for our wholesale customer and a different sales price level for our retail customer. And in NetSuite, we can, set up 1,000 price levels at a time, and these prices gets very quickly updated with the help of mass updates. So here, if we go down under the sales and pricing, so this is the tab, and this is the sub tab with the help of which we can set prices. But before telling you about this, we should know about the price levels. So what are price levels and how can we set these price levels? So for that, we can go into the setup accounting list. So under the quick filters, we have already selected this price level. So you can see that these are the various price levels that have been created. If we get into this marked up price level, like if I click on this view option, so this is the price level that is named as marked up price level, and it is for markup of 20%. We'll go back. It contains only internal ID and view and edit mode. Here we have the option of show inactives. And if we want to create a new price level, so I will click on new. So here we have to mention the name of the price level. That is retailer's price level. Okay, so if we go down here, so we have to provide certain percentage for markup and discount. So if I mention here this 12%, so this will be a markup. And if I put a minus with before it here, if I put a minus before it, so it will be counted as a discount. So what is markup? Discount, as we all know, when our customer, buys us from in bulk quantity, so they, they will be they will be, liable for, they will be getting some discounts. So and markups are the additional charges that are paid. These are not included in the cost of inventory, but in addition to the cost that is paid, the additional amount that comes under the markup. So here I am taking this positive. If it is shown with the minus, so it will be, you should understand that that it is a discount. And if it is, and if the values are given into the plus or positive values are given, so you should know that it is a markup. So here I have taken this retailer's price level for 12% markup. And if I check this box, so here update existing prices. So I have checked it. So whenever the prices gets updated, sorry, whenever there is any changes in the prices, so it will get updated. If we want to make this price level inactive, so we can check this box, but I want to use it into my uh, item record, so I am not marking it as inactive. I will be clicking it as save. So now the price level has been set. This is the markup, retailers PL. Under the actions, if we want to create some more price level, so we can create it. We'll go back to list to see where is that price level. So here it is, the retailer's price level that I have created. If at any point of time we want to make certain changes in it, so I will click on we can click on edit and make changes in it and save it. Those changes will be saved. So this is how the price level can be set. Now we'll be going back to the item record here. So under the pricing, you can see that we can use the various multiple currencies also. You can see USD is given here, Australian dollar, Canadian dollars. So various kinds of currencies are given over here. We can use it. And if the business is using marginal rate, so we can check this box. Here we have the quantity discounts, and quantity discounts again have various options available, like if we want to calculate the quantity discount by line quantity, by overall item quantity, by overall parent quantity, schedule quantity, so we can select it. This is about the calculate quantity discount. So here I have taken the line and quantity. So along with that, we have this option of pricing group. So these are the various pricing groups that have been created, like for electronic items. If the items that have created belongs to electronic items, so various pricing groups have been created. If we want to select any of it, so we can select it. Now here, you can see that these are the various price level available to us. Okay, I will save this record because we have to refresh it. Okay, we skipped something. We'll go into the accounting subtab. Here, it is in a mandatory field to select whether this item is to be included under the taxable or non-taxable. So here we have to select the non-taxable. Now I will click on save. So now we got the confirmation that our iPad underscore 10 has been successfully saved. It is a simple inventory item. I will click on refresh. Okay, so now in order to set pricing for this item, I will click on edit. I'll go down here under sales and pricing. So here you can see that previously, as I haven't saved this record, this price level was not showing, and now it is showing the price level that I have created, that is retailer's price level for 12% markup. And you can see the rest of the price levels are for discounts, that is 10% price level, 2 price level SW 10%. So these are all the discounts. This is an indication that this percent belongs to a discount, and here we have the markup for 15%. Another markup, this is the one that I have created. Another markup is 20%. So how can we make the pricing? You can see the costing method is already selected by default, and that is average cost. So if the marginal rates are used, if so, we can check this box. I have told you that quantity discounts, various options are available, and it is selected as by line quantity. If we want to define any particular cost, so we can provide the value for it. Pricing group, these are the various pricing groups that have been created. If we want to add a certain pricing group to this item record, so we can add it. If we go down here, so here we have the options of multiple currency. We can take the help of, we can use these multiple currencies for setting our pricing. So you can see that here we are having the option of quantity. So if I talk about the quantity pricing schedule, so this feature lets us apply different selling price to the items that depends on the quantity. If we talk about the quantity pricing schedule, so it enables us to offer discount to customers who buy in bulk. Like it is understood that whenever our customer buys from us in bulk quantity, so they will be given certain discounts. So based on the quantity, the prices can be varied. And now here I will be providing certain quantities, like this is for 0 to 10. Now here I will be selecting 10 to 20. Now here I will be selecting 20 to 40. And here 41 to 50. And here 50 to, sorry, 51 to 60. So this is the quantity. Now I will be mentioning the price for it. We have to, initially we have to mention a base price for any item. Like if if we are buying something between quantity 0 to 1, so I am mentioning here the price is 150. So you can see that based on these price levels, the based on the quantity and based on the price levels, the amounts have already been populated here. For the 20% of 150 is 30, and when we deduct 30 from 150, so we'll have this 120. So for 20, if I mention here 120, so you can see that prices have been populated accordingly, as per the price levels. For 40 quantity, I am mentioning here 100. So this price is taken up. And for 50, here I am taking, for 41 to 50, I am taking here this amount 90. And for 51 to 60, here I am taking 80. So now the prices have been defined over here. I just have to mention the base price only. Along with the base price, under the pricing subtab, under the pricing tab, we have the option of online price. Here you can see this is the online price. So this quantity, quantity pricing schedule, it is based on the tiered pricing, like which says that the more quantity you buy, the prices will get lesser. You can see that for 0 to 1, the amount is 150. As soon as the quantity gets increased, the base price has got a decrease in it. You can see that from 150 the price has reduced to 120. Similarly, as you can see that as the quantities are getting increased, their prices are decreasing. So I have manually put the base price, and the remaining price have been taken up automatically. Along with that, you can see for online price there is no amount that has been populated, so we can manually mention any price if we want to. So this is about the pricing. How can we set prices into our NetSuite application? So I have set the prices. Now I will be clicking on save. So the prices, item record has previously saved. Now we will see whether the pricing have been saved or not. Yes, these are all saved. Okay. After providing prices for the item, if we want like to associate or to add any of the price level to our customer, so we can do that. And for that, we'll go into list customer. So these are the customers that have been created. Okay, I'll edit this Michael James. So this is the customer record. And we'll take some other customer. So in order to associate any particular price with the customer record, we have to go into the financial subtab here. So here you can see this is the price level, and this customer is already assigned a price level 1. and I want to assign this customer this retailer's PL per price level that I have created today, retailer price level, and I will be saving it. So now let me tell you why did I do that? Just because whenever any transaction, any happens or ends with this customer, the price level that I have attached to this customer, that is retailer's price level, will already populated when this item is sorry, when any item is used on the sales order with this customer. So like if I go into the transaction sales, enter sales order. So this is the sales order. Here I have to select the customer, that is Ronald James. If I go down here under the items, you can see the subsidiary is already been populated. Under the items, if I select this, okay, let's take any other item with this. Okay, here I am taking this laptop Lenovo. So you can see that I am not creating any sales order here. I just want to show you that you can see I do not have to mention the price level for this customer, as I have selected it into the customer's record for Ronald James, right? Yeah. So I have, already selected this price level. I have attached this price level to the customer record. So here I do not have to mention the price level over here. So in this way, we can, set prices and we can add or attach those prices with the customer's record. So whenever any sales order or any transaction takes place with them, so the price level already populates. So this is about the pricing. Our today's as we are done with the item record creation and item pricing, our next concern would be a mass update. So, why the mass update happens? Let me tell you about that. So we can use the mass update functionality to find multiple records with outdated information and update all those records or all the field values of those records simultaneously. And how can we do that? So we'll go into list. Here we have the option of mass update. So these are the various options. We'll go into mass updates here. So it is, like a saved search option. We have these record types, like for which record do we want to create a mass update for. So here I am, I want to update the prices. So I will select this update item prices. So just as save searches, we have to We can change the name of it. So this is the we are updating the mass prices. So and under the amounts we can mention a proper amount, or we can mention a percentage for for updating any of the price. So here I am updating only an amount that is 10,000. So here based on under the based on option we have the options available, like for which price or cost do we want to perform this mass update. So existing price, entered price, and average cost. So existing price is taken up, and these are the price levels that have been created. So like for which price do we want to select, so we can select it from here. So here I have selected only the base price. Round to whole number. So these are the various options, like up to which rounded figure do we want the figures to be updated. And I want this mass update available as public. So here under the criteria we have to provide certain values. Like I want to update the prices of all the inventory items. I will click it as save. So I will be providing this criteria only. The things that I want to show into my reports is I would like to display only these six columns. So this is about the results. If we go in here into the schedule, so for for running the mass update, we have to select these options. Like you can see that this run update according to schedule is not checked. If I check it, so here various options of scheduling is available. Like if you want to select the single event, so you can select it. If you want to select it on daily basis, so you can see that it will be whenever any changes or any updates or have been will be made, so it will automatically updated. Weekly event also there. So we, under the week, the day that is selected is Tuesday. If we want to update it on monthly basis, on yearly basis, so we can select it. So here I am taking the weekly event, and you can see the start date is here and there is no end date. And I have checked this box. Now I will be saving it. Okay, so our mass update has been saved now. If I go into the list, mass updates, saved mass update. So here you can see that this is the update that I have created, and it will be occurring every Tuesday since I have selected the week option. Event based event has the event that was selected was weekly, so it occurs every Tuesday. If I want to preview it, so you can see these are all the inventory items, as I have mentioned under the criteria that I want all my inventory items prices to get updated. So here we have the option of base price, as I have selected base price. And uh, for updation I have mentioned the amount of 10,000. So you can see where the prices gets updated by 10,000. All the for each base price 10,000 has been added, and the prices gets updated automatically. You can see the base price that was for 12,052 has now been updated to 22,052. So 10,000s have been updated to each base price. So this is a kind of a saved search. I have total 404 inventory items. I have mentioned it under the criteria, and these are the various inventory items, and their prices have been updated now, and it is done in a one go. I just mentioned an amount, and I have run a safe search, and all the prices gets updated. Along with that, as I have saved this update, I have to perform this update. I will click on refresh. So here we can see that this is the mass update that I have created. So in this manner, we can, update our prices just in a single go for multiple kinds of multiple records. So on the multiple records, we can update the prices with the help of mass update option. After that, the other feature under the pricing list, if we want to generate the price list to our customer, so we can do that. We'll go into transaction customers. Here we have the option of generate a price list. I will click on it. So here you can see this is the date. If we want to provide any print form to our customer, so here I am selecting this Excel Limited. We just have to, check the box. You can see that, the price level is assigned box checked or not. I will click on print. So here you can see that for Excel Limited, this is the price list. So whenever any transaction or any sales order held or happens with this Excel Limited, for these items, these are the price, these are the price list that have been given to it. This is concerned with the quantity. It is given, the items are given, and the pricing has been divided in based on the quantity. You can see. So this is the price list, and we can print it for our customer. So this is about the price list. Now our next concern here is how can we convert the inventory items to non-inventory items to inventory items. So for that again we'll go into list, accounting, items. So there are various scenarios in which there is a requirement like when we want to create some non-inventory item, but at a certain point of time we get to know that no, it should be, it should be an inventory one. So we can, at that time we can change the non-inventory item into an inventory one. So here this is the non-inventory item that I have created. Now I will be changing or converting it into the inventory one. Sorry, I have to select it. Yes. So this is the MI004, and it is a non-inventory item that is created for purchase. I will click on view. So if we view the non-inventory item, so it will automatically give us this tab that is convert to inventory. And if we want to convert this inventory item, so here we have these two options, whether we want to convert this non-inventory item to any serialized inventory or any lot numbered inventory. So we can take any of these options. So here I am taking this serialized inventory. Okay, as we are converting this into a non-inventory, into an inventory one, so I will change the form from custom to standard. Every detail is already here. Only the main thing that we have to do is we have to change the account. While changing a non-inventory item into an inventory one, we have to change this cost of goods sold account. Currently, it is selected as 6890. Now I have to change it. So here I am taking the other account. We have to select a different expense account for it. There are certain mandatory fields. Okay, now I will save it. Now you can see that the MI004 that was previously a non-inventory item, now it has been converted into a serialized inventory item. So in this manner, we can convert a non-inventory item into an inventory one. So we are done with the item pricing. We also know about the inventory costing. After that, we also know how can we set prices and how can we associate those prices. How can we convert a non-inventory item into an inventory one. The last concern of today's would be that is inventory level warning preference. So there are various scenarios in which we cross the limits that is already that is already set, and if we are crossing that limit, so we will be giving certain pop-ups or certain warnings for it. So these warnings, if we can know about it under the inventory level warning preference, we have to set certain preferences for it. So these are the preferences when we assign certain reorder points and preferred stock level to the inventory items. And when these preferences are enabled or checked, so alerts it gives us alert when the inventory level reaches or decreases below a reorder point. Along with that, it also displays a pop-up message when we add an item to a transaction. Suppose we are creating an order for 10 units, and our stock has only 5 units. So it will, give us a pop-up that you have only you have only 5 items, 5 units available into your inventory. So at that time, it provides us the pop-up message for us. So how can we set these preferences into our NetSuite application? We'll go back to the home page. So under the home tab, here we have the option of set preferences from here, or from under the settings, here we also have the option of set preferences. So if we go here into the transaction, so you can see that under the warnings, we have this option inventory level warnings. If I click on this question mark, so you can see that check this box to see warnings when you sell inventory items with quantity at or below their reorder points. Whenever we are, creating any transaction or any sales order that is below or that is above the reorder point, so it will give us the pop-up. So you must also set these minimum quantities. It's not the mandatory one. So if this checkbox is checked, so whenever we are crossing the limits or we are doing something below the limit, so this inventory level warning preference works and it will provide us the pop-up message. So we can enable these preferences, and it can be disabled also, but usually it is checked it. And after this, we can click on save. So in this manner, we can set the inventory level warning preferences. So we are done with today's concern. We have seen how can we create an item records. We have seen what kind of item records are there and how can we create it. How can we convert a non-inventory item into an inventory one. Then we have seen how can we create a various price levels, and we can these price levels are available under the item records, and we can add these prices. Prices can be set according to the price level, and it can be based on the quantity also. The more quantity you order, the prices will get lesser. This is the pricing quantity pricing tier module that is followed. So this is about the pricing. We have also seen that under the NetSuite, it is the costing method that is selected is average costing method, weighted average costing method, which says that you whatever items are there, whether it is purchased firstly or lastly, it should be sold off. So there is no any time frame under the weighted average method. And we have also seen how can we update the prices with the help of mass updates, and how can we generate the price list to our customer in a very easy manner. And at last, we have seen if if we are exceeding or if we are doing the transaction below or above the reorder points, then what will be the warnings and what will be the pop-ups that we will be getting. So this is about the um inventory level warning preferences. So that's all about today. In case of any questions and consultations, you can write to us at www.bispsolutions.com. Thank you.